Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the Cambridge House 2012 in beautiful downtown Palm Springs. I have David Morgan of the Morgan Report, and we're going to discuss myths in silver. Welcome one more time to SNN Live.
Well, thank you, Shelley. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you. Interesting conference here. What are you finding when you talk to this crowd? Brilliant people, some of them.
Well, the speakers primarily, and it's a high net worth crowd, pretty sophisticated. A lot of them are here for the first time. It's the first time that the Cambridge House has been in Palm Springs. So I think there's some that are here for curiosity. I think there's some that are pretty seasoned investors in the space, and then in between. So pretty mixed crowd. I think the feedback so far has been very, very positive. I think the people that are here are really enjoying the speakers.
I think there's a level of interest in silver that I haven't seen since the Silver Summit, so to speak. And I think that in the American community here, they're coming into silver for some of them, they're hearing about it hard and heavy for the first time, in a way.
Well, that's true. I mean, you don't hear about gold. You hear about gold somewhat in the mainstream press. I mean, you do hear it on CNBC and some of the financial channels. They, of course, post the gold price daily. Some of them do post the silver price. You hardly ever hear silver discussed in any mainstream financial network at all. So there are a certain amount of people that study on their own and seek out information on their own, and the Internet's about the only place you can find real information about the silver market. So, as you said, a crowd like this are usually people that go that extra mile to find out, more information than, say, the average person does. So, yeah, there is a pretty good contingency around the silver market. I have had a few people come up and said that they're specifically here to hear me. I take that to heart, and I welcome that very much. But overall, it's the conference itself that draws the people. But, yeah, there's a subset there that like the silver story.
So, the audience there has to know. I'm going to do a commercial for you. For more information specifically on the silver market, go to themorganreport.com. Now, let's get into it. Tell the audience myths in silver.
Well, I don't have time to do them all, but there's several. And a lot of
I'm here all day.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I've got an appointment. But there's several. Several of them are actually in my book still. I mean, one's about the photography myth. I mean, one of the photography myths is that once the photography market goes to digital, which it has over the last decade, that's going to ruin the silver, market. Well, when that myth was started, the silver price was around $480. We've been as high as 48, so that's a 10-bagger. So how's that myth working out, The truth is that in silver halide film processing, all the silver is retrieved. So it's a massive amount of recycling. As the digital is replaced, silver halide, what's taken place is there's a lot less recycling out of that sector of the market. That's what it really means. So that's one myth. The other one that's one of my favorites is silver is silver money. It's not, and it is. And, of course, I make the case that it's been money for longer periods of time, more often in more places on the planet than gold ever has. So there's another myth. And there's a few more. And then I left a little bit of time for what I expect to see in the future from this point forward on the silver price, what my price expectations are, and then I also give the people a way to benefit in the coming market bull run the way I see it. So, it's a pretty comprehensive, and it's a lot to pack in a half hour, but I can talk fast.
Well, I think that's pretty interesting because I know that this is probably the greatest number of silver bugs from going to the conferences that we go to. The rooms that are discussing silver are the full rooms because I know that several other speakers, for instance, Eric Sprott as well, he's all over silver and he's been a silver bug. He's been popularizing silver. You can't talk to Eric without him bringing up the word silver, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I wrote a 10-year study. In fact, it's available for free at our booth on what I expect over the next decade. I wrote that in early 2010. It's still as viable today as it was the day I wrote it. I mean, when you go out 10 years, that's a long-term study. And Eric has been also advocating that the next decade is the decade for silver. I really was bullish, but I was not certain, and not that I'm certain now, but I'm more certain than I was before I did this study, based on the economics of silver, both from the industrial and investment points of view. And that perspective is laid out in this study. In fact, during my presentation, I'm going to show a slide of a I guess you call them competitor, but another service that's well known, established on Wall Street. And their 10-year study is $17,500 to purchase that study over the next decade. Mine you can actually get if you become a member of the website for a substantially less amount than that.
The other thing is, and I'd like your comment, have you seen growth in junior exploration companies in silver?
Not particularly. That part of the cycle was pretty much established between the early 2000s and 2005 or 6. There are some, there always will be some, but no. The big growth spurt were companies like Endeavor, First Majestic, some of the ones that were on our list earlier that have made our readers a lot of money if they held them. Are there some new ones? Yes, there are. I found one here at this show that I'm going to give out to our premium clients only. I really like it. I know the Geologists very well. I've proven track record. They already have about 16 million ounces in the proven category without a 43-101, but it's from historic data. I trust these guys totally. So, yeah, there's always a one-off. There's a few out there, but no, the discovery cycle is pretty much over. It's never complete because there's always something out there. But that, to me, is not the place to be in this part of the cycle. The place to be is in your mid-tier growth companies. That's where you're going to make your most money. That's a sweet spot right now. I mean, you got to remember, I've been doing this for like 40 years. It doesn't make me better than anybody, but it certainly means I have more experience than almost anybody. And because of that, experience pays. You know, if you don't think so, go out and get some.
I've got a final question. What do you see in terms of the near term on consolidation of the big producers needing to purchase resource? I mean, let's be frank.
Shelley, great question. Yeah, you're going to see more and more M&As, mergers and acquisitions. That's really another reason to be in the sector that I'm stressing and have for the last year or so. That's where you're going to make some significant money because the bigger companies deplete. Now, let's face it, the best gold mine in the world depletes its asset and ends in failure. When you get that last ore body taken out, you're done. The company's finished. So to continue their business, they have to always go out and get new resources, and that's where they'll look at companies that have good resources that they can buy. And these bigger companies pay up pretty significantly for these companies in most cases. And if they undervalue it, like what happened with Mag Silver, for example, the company does not get taken over, and you're better off holding the shares. So it works both ways. But the point being that, yeah, there's going to be a lot more mergers and acquisitions. They need the resources. They need the assets. In most cases, they pay up, and you do pretty well holding those shares and getting taken out by a bigger company.
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver tongue of David Morgan of the Morgan Report. We just discussed several things of interest in the silver market. I want to thank you for coming on to SNN Live. It's always good to have you.
Shelley, thank you very much.
You're welcome.